name's Jack Wallen, and I, for better or worse, am an artist. And I'm not ashamed to admit it. That's not what this is about. Trust me, this is about something that I think that every artist out there, regardless of what medium you practice, needs to hear. It's probably the single most important lesson that every artist needs. And it's hard. It's not only hard to hear, it's hard to put in practice. You'll understand in a moment. I have been an actor since around 1984. That's a long, long time. And I've been a writer since about 1986. That's when I actually put pen to paper with the idea that I was going to write a story, and not a term paper or anything like that, a story. Nothing happened to that story. I wish it would, because it's a great idea, but it would require a whole lot of other things. It wasn't a book, it was a musical. More on that later. Not today, maybe some other time. Anyway, so as I continued along with my acting career, of course, out of high school I went to undergraduate school and undergrad and then grad school. One of the things that my professors never bothered to tell me, shame on them, was this one particular lesson that I would almost bet you that every artist out there listening to me has heard in some way, shape, or form. And here it is. Thus beginneth the lesson. In order to be an artist, in order to survive in this world as an artist, you have to, here it comes, are you ready for it? Develop a thick skin. It's cliche as anything you've ever heard. What does it mean? What does it mean? Does it mean you just have to develop this armor such that when someone tells you no, it's like pew, 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 bounces right off of you? I'm rubber, you're glue, whatever when you say no, it bounces off me and sticks to you? I know. I have a better approach for this idea of developing thick skin. Now, over the years, over the decades, as an actor, I have gone to hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands of auditions. Now, I have also been really, really lucky in that I had a 20-year span where I went from job to job to job. That was great. I was making a living as an actor, and it was a beautiful thing. But prior to that, I heard no an awful lot. Even worse, nothing. I didn't hear anything. I'd go to an audition, I'd do my best, and I'd come back, nothing. So here's what eventually happened. And this is the danger. And this danger applies to actors and writers and musicians and directors and sculptors and painters and you name it. The danger is that after being told no or hearing nothing for a long enough time, you start to go into those auditions or submitting those manuscripts or demo tapes or whatever, thinking, what's the use? They're just going to say no, why bother? And I did that. And it harmed me more than all of those no's combined. So what changed? I can't remember the exact moment that it happened. But at some point, I realized that my attitude going into those auditions, me thinking, what's the point, was self-defeating. So when I would go into those auditions with that in my mind, I would do work that was subpar. I was not doing my best work. And then, to help me along, someone, I don't even remember who it was, but someone gave me some advice that stuck with me. And that meant more and gave me more power than anything else. And that person said, when you go into those auditions, and even if there are 100 people, 100 guys there that look just like you, sorry for those guys, but they're not you. You are you. And there are countless things that come together that make up who you are. And if you take that into your auditions, you be you in that unique way that only you can do, you're bringing something to the table that none of those other people can do. Whether it's the rhythm of your speech, the movement of your body, the filters in your mind, everything, all of that comes together to make something that is wholly unique that no one can replicate. So I started going into those auditions with that in mind, with the idea that I am unique and that only I can do me, even if it's me doing another character. Because none of those other people are going to be able to do that character in the same way that I do. And that, my friends, was empowering. And then the second stage of this enlightenment came. When all of a sudden I realized that every time I go in an audition, it's a learning experience. Whether I'm learning something that I did right, or learning something that I did wrong, or learning something that I could do better, there's always something to learn. And if you go into those auditions with that idea in mind, even if you are told no or hear nothing, you can at least come away having learned something. And whatever you have learned could maybe improve how you audition, improve your craft, or make you a better person. Either way, you win. And when you win like that, the next time you go into an audition, you're going to be even better. Now, let's look at this kind of through the same lens as a writer. I was actually reminded of this idea just today because I got the manuscript to Violent Delights 2 back from my editor. And she had I haven't actually opened the manuscript, but when she sent it to me, she had some information she wanted to share about it. And my immediate thought was this, and this is really nice to think, that had I gotten this feedback 5 years ago, it would have crushed me. I would have looked at that feedback and said, I'm a failure. I am an absolute failure. I can't do this. Why bother? We're back to why bother. But now, I understand one very important thing, that the editor is there to make my work better. The editor is not there to point out my flaws and my failures. The editor is there to lift me up and say, hey, together we're going to make this as good as it can be. We're going to make this your best work yet. Now, when I get that feedback from my editor and I see that they do have feedback and some of it's negative, I go, yes, we can improve this book. And together, we're going to create something that is wholly unique and is worthy of people reading. and I will have come out of it having learned something. And that, my friends, is absolutely invaluable. And that is how you can develop a thick skin without having to put on armor. Because it's a hard world out there. It is not easy to be an artist in this world. And the second you approach this craft with the idea that you've got to put on this thick armor to survive, you're going to shield yourself from all of this wonder. You're going to prevent yourself from learning something. Take in the feedback. Accept the feedback. Relish the feedback, because it is a chance to make things better. And every time you go into an audition, be you. Be as uniquely you as you can, and don't be afraid of it. And when you come out of that audition, be proud that you did what you did, and that you did you. And you did something that no one else at that audition could do. And be mindful of what you can take away from that audition to grow. Because there's always something out there to help you grow as an artist. Everything is an experience. And it can be a beautiful experience if you let it be. Instead of approaching everything as, what's the purpose? What's the point? Why am I doing this? You're doing it because you have to. Because you're an artist. It's what you're passionate about. And if you're really passionate about it, if you really believe in yourself, then have faith. And understand that you are the only you out there. Something that no one else can touch. And every time you audition, submit a manuscript, a demo tape, whatever, it is an opportunity to learn and grow and succeed. So get rid of the idea of failure, shed the armor, and be vulnerable and open to what the universe has to offer. And that, my friends, is my best advice on how you can get that thick skin that every artist needs without having to, shield yourself from the world and life and love and growth. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to me. It is my honor to be able to share whatever wisdom I have. And if you think that someone you know might benefit from this, share it with them. Can't hurt. Never know. There's always a chance to learn. Thank you, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.